Welcome to the Hank Le Corno Show. Now here's your host, Hank Le Corno. Hey everybody. Yeah, and here's my sidekick, James Bosworth. Now James, there's been something that's been bothering me pretty much for a long time, one thing I want to discuss with you was a thing about the mad scientist. Now how can a guy be mad and a scientist at the same time? How can a guy be mad and go to school, learn everything he has to know to be a scientist, when he's mad, and it can't be possible. After he graduated, somewhere along the line, he must have snapped. Don't you agree?
Well, the way I figure it is he's letting his work carry him way too much.
Yeah.
Too much pressure and stress.
Yeah, it's a good point. It's kind of like that Dr. Frankenstein.
There you go.
Yeah, like how he
was obsessed with life and death and creating monsters and stuff.
Yeah, because it's like, first he must have, somewhere along the line, I'm sure he was a really good college student, and he, I'm pretty sure he got good grades, obviously, or he never would have graduated to be a doctor. Now
Sure.
really, but it's like, but somewhere along the line, after his studies, after he graduated and everything, he must have been doing really well though. But then he just caught up in this whole thing about life, and death, and I guess somewhere along the line he just snapped. Is that correct?
Yeah, just became a wacko.
Yeah, and same thing with that Dr. Moreau fella. You remember from Island of Lost Souls?
Yeah, Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah, Dr. Jekyll too. It's like these guys, I'm pretty sure at one point in time they must have been, brilliant. Because when I see these people, it's like, wow, it's like, how could these brilliant men have become so mad?
Instead of using their abilities to help people, they just help themselves.
Yeah, and it's like, one thing I don't get. It's like here you have a guy who, like that Dr. Moreau guy. It's like, I'm pretty sure he must have been a, brilliant doctor at one point. Then look, he gets all obsessed with that stuff, and he turns into a mad doctor. But then, well, anyways, the story in the very end, he ends up getting killed by his own creations.
Yeah.
Yeah, and same thing with that. Dr. Jekyll, same thing with him. He started, I'm pretty sure he must have been a genius guy though, because somewhere along the line these guys must have snapped. They just didn't end up the way they did they?
No.
Well, I guess will remind me to never become a professor, because I don't know. Because
doctor either.
I know, because sometimes I wonder to myself, I might snap. Well, that's all.
It's not worth it.
No, well, I guess that's all the time we have today. We'll see you next time.
Okay.
Thank you. See, that was